Today's session is Run Your Payroll Securely with Sage Business Cloud Payroll, and I'm Alvi Hussain, the Educational Specialist, who will go through Sage Business Cloud Payroll with you today. So let's go through the actual agenda. So in today's session, we'll probably take around about 20 minutes to half an hour, depending on if we get quite a few questions. So we'll go through the actual software. So first things first, we'll go through the objectives, the key features in Sage Business Cloud Payroll. Then we'll go through like a live demonstration, a recap, and the Q&As, then the summary, and the type of support you'll receive at the end. So in today's objectives, by the end, you'll be able to set up a new company or migrate from an existing system, enter your employees and pay calendars in, set up the payroll settings, set up the payslip settings, add any payments or deductions in the settings area, and understand the 4 stages of a pay run. Also, we'll go through any reports as well, what's available in Business Cloud Payroll. So the key features of Sage Business Cloud Payroll is the payments and deductions. So you can breeze through the simple 4-step pay run. So entering hourly payments or salaries, and we'll handle the calculation for you. Real-time information, so submit your PAYE and national insurance data to HMRC just with a click of a button. Keeping compliant is really easy. Your workplace pension, so we'll count down the staging date and guide you through the preparations and then automatically assess your workers. So we will go through that. Easy corrections. Payroll helps you prevent and correct errors easily. So don't worry, just amend a previous pay run and we'll handle the adjustments for you. Payslips, P60s and more. So print your P60s off, print your payslips off, and the actual payroll will create some clever reports for your actual business. And then what's so super and easy is you'll be able to speak to our technical support line 24/7, email support or web chat support, and they'll be able to assist you as well. So let's go into a live demonstration of the software. So what I'll be doing today is going through 2 actual existing subscriptions that I've already got. So the first part, I'll just show you the initial setup of everything. And then what I'm going to do is switch into an existing license. So we'll be able to go through and process a pay run. So first things first, Sage Business Cloud is all held on the cloud itself. All you'll need to have is an internet connection and you'll be able to access the software anytime, any place. So we have got the Accounting Partner Edition. So that is for the accountants and bookkeepers. So this is the essential client hub where you'll see a long list of all your potential clients. So from here, you'll be able to access the subscribed services. So we do have and deal with Accounting Plus and Accounting Standard, which is our bookkeeping suite. Then we've got the payroll. Then we have final accounts, corporation tax, and personal tax. So we do have different webinars that we do run for those. So please attend to those if you are interested. So within the Accounting Partner Edition, this is where you'll be able to invite users. So for example, it could be your colleagues. So clicking onto the plus button on the top right, you can click onto invite user. And then all you need to do is enter their email address within here, set their permissions, and they can actually access the software. And then from here, you can assign different users to different clients. So when the actual colleague does log in, they'll only be able to see the clients that they've been assigned to. So within payroll, you can have 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, and 50 employees within the actual system. So our Sage Business Cloud Payroll is very basic and is very easy to use. So it's more directed to our simpler clients or simpler businesses. So let's go into a Payroll 10 license. So clicking into it, straight away, you'll get this getting started with payroll screen. So first things first, you'll need to enter your business name, your telephone number, the PAYE reference, and the accounts office reference number. Then you click onto next. So you'll be able to enter your HMRC reporting frequency. So within there, you'll be able to choose the submissions and the tax payment. So all you need to do is choose a relevant one and then click onto next. And now that's setting up. So as soon as you actually log into Sage Business Cloud Payroll, what you'll be able to see is two options. So we'll ask you whether you already have an existing payroll, so you'll be able to enter your year-to-date values in, or you'll be able to set up from scratch. On the right-hand side, you'll be able to watch a tour, so you'll be able to see how to set up payroll and how it works. So you can watch this getting started video on the right-hand side. On the top right, you'll be able to see any exciting new updates. So all you need to do is click on to see what's new, and then you'll be able to see those updates. For the first option, if you do have an existing payroll, so if you are using an existing system and you need to enter your year-to-date values in, all you need to do is click on to enter manually. And then from here, you would enter your P32 reporting frequency, so that whether that's monthly or quarterly, your payment method, and the last completed P32 reporting period. So for example, you could actually submit it November as an example, and then specify whether you have a weekly, monthly, 2-weekly, or 4-weekly pay cycle. So if I select a monthly and the date it gets paid on, so I'm just going to say the last day of the month, avoid public holidays and weekends, and then simply click on to next. And then from here, all I need to do is add my employees. So I do have a Payroll 10 license, so I can add up to 10 employees within here. So if I click on to new employee or add an employee, all I need to do is enter the forename and the surname. So if I say Joe Blogs, and then all I need to do is enter the national insurance number, the date of birth, and then the gender, and then the contacts details. So anything as an asterisk will need to be entered in. And then from there, click onto your tax date details and then choose your pay cycle. So I'm just going to say monthly, and then the contracted weekly hours. So I'm just going to say 30 hours or more. Then the work numbers and the start date of the actual employee. So we'll say 2018. And then a finish date would be for actual leavers. So if you do have any leavers, you just need to enter the actual date within there, which will produce your P45. Then your payment method. So I'm just going to say bank transfer and just enter the details within here. And then you've got your tax code. So I'm just going to enter a dummy tax code. Then the national insurance category. So choose which one applies. And then the RTI paid ID. So I'm just going to enter some dummy credentials within here. For the RTI paid ID, you'll be able to get that from your existing payroll. So you'll need to go into that and get that information and pop that within here. And then from there, enter any opening balances. So how much you paid tax this year. So it could be 2,500 as an example. So just enter the information where it applies. National insurance category, so you'll be able to enter all that information within here. And then once you've completed that, if your actual employee is a director, you would enter the director information, any statutory payments this year, any student loans, or if you started employment this tax year. Once you've entered all your information for that, all you need to do is click on to save, and then you can add another employee by clicking on to add employee. And then from there, click on to next. And here, all you need to do is confirm the migration details. And once you're happy with that, then all you need to do is click on to submit. Once you've submitted that, you'll be able to see the pensions tab at the top. So if I click on to submit, within here, this will show you your next steps. So you'll be able to go to your employee records, processing pay runs, adding any student deductions, for example, and then simply click on to done. So now from here, what you'll be able to see is a summary. So within the actual payroll summary, you'll be able to process a pay run. On the left-hand side, you'll be able to see your HMRC real-time information. So you'll be able to see your EPS, your FPS. Then you'll be able to record your employment allowance claim for the new tax year. And then from there, you'll be able to enter any staging dates for auto enrollment. So what I'm going to do, before I go into the pensions tab, I'm just going to enter staging date and click on set staging date. Just going to click on to OK. And then what you can do is go into the pensions tab. And from here, you'll be able to nominate the pensions contact. So if you've already got this set up, you will need to go through this process again. It's just actually going through each individual section and then ticking the boxes. So all you need to do is tick this box when you've contacted the pension, then access your workforce, and then review the actual pension arrangements. So it will ask you if you have an existing pension scheme. So if you do, all you need to do is click onto yes, and then confirm the actual pension scheme itself. If you don't, click onto no, and then you do have options available within here. So within Business Cloud Payroll, we do have a direct integration with Nest. So when you process a pay run, it goes directly into Nest, but we do have other pension providers available. So we have now the People's Pension and Smart Pension, or you could just simply add your own pension provider. It's entirely up to you. What you would actually do after processing the pay run, you need to download a report and go into that pension provider and just upload it. So if you're going to add a new pension, so for example, it was Nest, and then just enter your employer reference, and then you'll be able to set up a group. So you'll need to at least set one group up. So I'm just going to say Nest and view the contributions, the employer and the employees. Click on to add. And then from here, you'll be able to add a payment source. So if I click onto here, this could be direct debit. Accept the terms and conditions. Click on to save. And then from here, all you need to do now is click onto pension scheme qualifies. And then you can move on to the fourth option. So this is where you'll be able to communicate your auto enrollment changes to all your employees. So from here, you'll be able to print out the actual letter or email the actual letter. So if I click onto print, this is what the actual letter would actually look like. So what you've got on the top right is you'll be able to download it and print it off. Once you're happy with that, all you need to do is tick this box and your employees have been informed. And it's just as simple as that. So what I'm going to do now is just actually go into my existing license that I use and then show you how to process a pay run and view the different type of reports we have available. So if I go into a Payroll 5, so go into the actual license. Before we actually process a payroll, we can go into the settings tab. So here you'll be able to set up everything. So for example, it could be your payroll settings. So clicking into the payroll settings, make sure you've got your PAYE reference number, your accounts office reference number, your HMR reporting frequency, and your payment method. Then you've got your pay slips. So within the pay slips, you've got 3 different pay slips available that you can actually choose from. And then simply click on to save. And then what you can do is move on to the calendar settings. So if you've already not set up a calendar setting, all you need to do is go into here and then set that up. I've set up a weekly and a monthly, as you can see. And then you've got payments and deductions. So here you can create as many payments as you would like to. You can see that I've added quite a few. So clicking onto it, you've got your payment category. So whether that's hourly payments, salary, holiday pay, expenses, or redundancy, you'll be able to add those in and then choosing the payment type and then adding a name and a description. As you can see, it's already been entered in, and then simply click on to save. Same concept for deductions. So create a brand new deduction. It could be pensions, attachments of earnings, gross deduction, net deduction, could be your student loans. And then from there, click on to save. Also within the actual settings, you've got data management. So this is where you'll be able to actually reset your license. So you click on to reset my data and just enter your email address in. I wouldn't advise you to do that just before speaking to support, just in case if you are unaware of the fact that it actually resets the entire data. So my suggestion would be speak to support before you actually proceed. And then in the settings, finally, you've got your GDPR retention period. So how long you want to keep the actual payroll records for. So you would set that information within here. Now what we can do is click onto the pay run and process a pay run. So within here, I can just click onto next monthly pay run. So if I process this pay run, confirm the date, click onto next. And then from here, I can add any absences for Sarah or Joe. So if it was a sickness, say the documentation has been received, enter the start date, the end date, and then click onto save. Once you're happy with that, click onto next. So here you can see the payments for Sarah and Joe. So within here, this is obviously picked up from last month's for the salary and the bonus. And then obviously it's automatically calculate the actual deductions for you. So you don't need to do anything. So if you look at Joe's as well, it's automatically been calculated. If you need to actually add any basic hours, for example, rather than a salary, click onto basic hours. So they could be working 16 hours a week and getting paid £8.25, and the software will automatically calculate that for you. If they had any holidays or salary sacrifices, you'll be able to add those in, or any redundancies. Any deductions within here as well. So it could be court fines, it could be advance payments, and so on and so forth. You could just add the deductions within here as well. Once you've obviously entered all your information and you've checked the actual payments and deductions, and if you're happy with that, click onto next. And here you'll be able to see a summary just before you submit. So if I click on to open the detailed report, here I can see a detailed report of section 1 and 2. So this is the employee payslip summary and the payments and deductions. So all you will need to do is scroll down and check all this information just to see if you're happy with that. And if you are, you have got the option to download it and just actually print it off. And then within here, you can view the payslip as a draft. So I'm just going to check Sarah's. I'll be able to see the employer and employee contribution for pensions. I can check all the calculations just to see if I'm happy with all of that. Again, you have the ability to download it and print it off. And then complete the pay run. So all you need to do is enter the government gateway ID. So you'll just enter your user ID and your password, and this will actually submit your FPS as well. And then you can store the actual password for future submissions, and then click on to confirm. So if I go into an existing processed pay run, so what you'll be able to see from here, again, you'll be able to go into the detailed report. You can actually export all the payslips out into a PDF and email those out. You can download it and you can email it directly to Sarah or Joe James if you've entered their email address in within the Employees tab. On the left-hand side, under the HMRC RTI scheme, you'll be able to see your FPS. So hopefully yours would actually be successful. And then obviously you'll see if there's an EPS payment due. From here, further below, you'll be able to see a P32 if you do have a successful message. Unfortunately, I do not because I've got dummy credentials in my actual payroll software. And on the right-hand side, you'll be able to see this pension submission. So within here, you can view the pension contribution for this pay period. So clicking into it, and then you'll be able to see the breakdown, and then you can download this report. So for actual Nest, it'll go directly into Nest from Business Cloud Payroll. But if it is any other pension provider, just download this report and it'll go, then you'll be able to upload it into that pension provider. Going back, if you click on to edit pay run, this is where you'll be able to edit the pay run and correct any mistakes if necessary. You'll be able to see the payment breakdown and the trends. Once you're happy with that, you can go into the pensions tab. So within here, you'll be able to view the pension contribution to the date. So you'll be able to see how everything's looking so far. Again, download a report if you needed to. And then you'll be able to see the auto enrollment statuses. So you'll be able to see who's eligible, non-eligible, anyone who wants to opt in. You'll be able to see that breakdown and download that into a report. And then finally, you'll be able to record the payments. So you would actually need to pay Nest directly because you can't do that from the software. So you will need to show the software that you've actually completed that actual payment by clicking into here and then showing the actual payment within there. At the top, you'll be able to see the year-end reports. So if I click into here, you'll be able to view the actual P11. So all you need to do is click onto your P11 and then drill down to the P11 for Sarah and Joe. Then you'll be able to submit an EPS. For going to last year's, you'll be able to print a P60 and then view your early year updates and submit that if necessary. Under the reporting tab, you have got different reports available. So we've got the employees' net pay, pay slip summary, employer's cost, liability totals, average earnings and working hours. So if I go into the last report, if I go into last month, change the dates and click on to generate, what I'll be able to do is drill into the actual report and export it into a PDF as well as a CSV format. So you do have that ability within here. Again, obviously, the other reports are your employees' net pay. So if you wanted to go into that, you can do so by clicking onto the tax share and then the actual frequency and then the actual period. Click onto generate. And again, you can export that report into a PDF as well as a CSV format. Finally, what you'll be able to do is click onto your help articles. So clicking onto the help articles on the top right. Here, if you do ever get stuck, you'll be able to view the different articles available on the left-hand side. So for example, it could be submissions, setting up a submission. You'll be able to go to the actual article and view that article, and then you'll have a video available in some of the articles. So now let's recap. So what we've gone through is how to set up a payroll, a 4-step payroll, amending the settings, and how to submit to HMRC. So let's summarize everything. So now you know how to set up a brand new company or migrate your data in, enter your employees and pay calendars in, set up the payroll, set up the payslip settings, add any payments and deductions within the settings area, understand the 4-stage of the pay run, and view any reports that you need to. Let's go through the actual support. If you'd like to talk any further, you can speak to your account manager on 0191 479 5999. If you'd like to learn any more, you can actually access our webinar listing. So how you actually access this webinar or how you registered this webinar, you'll be able to do the same thing for the other webinars that are available. If you need to talk to a technician support, you can do so by calling 0191 479 5911. If you'd like to become an expert, you can register and log into our Sage University to get accredited and access the range of courses which are all free of charge by going on to sageu.com/UKI. If you do have any queries regarding learning or education, you can actually email the education team on accountant.education@sage.com and we are happy to help. So I'd like to thank everyone for attending today's session.